Okay, so when you're trying to figure out what something like informational social influence means, you have to compare it to normative social influence, and you have to relate it to the concept of conformity. That's when an individual change their behavior to match that of a group, right? And we're interested in why do people conform? And there are multiple reasons why people conform. And when you're thinking about that, you should always keep the Ash study with the lines in mind. Now, again, this does not mean that these are the only two reasons people conform, but this is two of the main reasons that we were able to gather from the infer from the Ash experiment. Okay, so one is about when we're in groups and the majority of a group has a certain position on reality. And when we mean reality, we can mean the length of lines. We can mean who won yesterday's ball game. It doesn't matter. It's a kind of a tough term, but it really can mean any aspect of reality. Okay? So one thing we found is that people desire approval, right? They want to be liked. They may not want to upset other people. So sometimes they conform, even if they disagree, to actually gain approval or avoid disapproval. They may ask themselves, what is socially desirable here to do? And what is socially desirable for many people is to be approved, liked, not upset the apple cart, so to speak. So we would call the kind of conformity that happens as a result of that normative social influence. So again, it's not that you have convinced me, again, if you look at Ash's study, that those lines, it's not that the majority of people convinced me that those lines are the same. I actually disagree with them, but I don't want to be seen negative in their eyes. However, there are other ways. Sometimes we actually doubt ourselves. And it doesn't matter how easy or difficult the task is, but sometimes the idea is, I want to be right. It's not just that I want other people's approval. That may play into it as well. But the main focus of informational social influence is the information at hand, meaning most people, right, they want to be correct in their endeavors. So they also start to doubt themselves. I must be wrong. Other people must be right, the majority of people. But I really want not just their approval. I want to be right. I want to be correct. So in this sense, there's almost a private acceptance that other people, so we're accepting other people's view of reality as superior to ours, not because simply we want to gain their approval, but we want to be right. We believe that the group must be correct. And basically, sometimes also, a group or other people in our lives can present something to us that we somewhat have just, maybe in the past we disagreed with it, but now we come to say, well, maybe they're right. And again, the whole point here is that we desire correct information. We desire at a philosophical level the truth. So I am conforming because of the information, and I am conforming because I want to be correct. Okay, so that's the main difference between the two. I just wanted to add to the informational social influence. When Ash added the anonymous part to the experiment, meaning that the actual subject, not the Confederates, was able to put their answers down anonymously apart from the group, conformity went down dramatically. Most people were like, well, I don't have to worry about this anymore, right? Because no one's going to know. I'm the one saying no. However, some people actually still agreed with the group. We would consider this informational social influence. And again, it's not that there isn't pressure here, but the whole idea is that the pressure is about being right, not gaining approval. And it can mean like, well, majority must be right, and I agree with that. I must be wrong. So that's another example of informational social influence.